How's it going, everybody? We are back at Universal Studios for our very last Halloween Horror Nights update. We have team member previews right around the corner, followed by Premium Scream Night, followed by Opening Night. So I don't think anything else is going to be happening inside of the park, but we do have the food booth menus all up at this point, and the houses are all in place. All of the banners, which is what I said in the last update. I said there's a good chance we start to get all of those put into place. Now we're here, we're gonna go check them out. So we're gonna go look at all of the locations of the houses, we're gonna check out all of the food booth menus, and hopefully we'll see if there's any new updates to the scare zones as well. Here is our newest Ghostbusters window here in CityWalk for the store. It looks a little bit kind of like a comic strip, troubled by strange noises. In the middle of the night, we're ready to believe you. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. So this is kind of fun. They are using this kind of purple and green coloring here, which is what we are seeing on some of the merchandise, like we can see right up front here. We do have a lot of these individual stands out here in front of CityWalk that have a lot of HHN merch as well. It looks like they've pretty much swapped all of these over right up front here, so you can come over here for all of the unique stuff for this year, and then kind of the things that we've seen over the past few years, the glasses, the horns, things like that. We even have the full Chucky collection over here with Hello Kitty on the booth here, and then like I said over here, more of these booths are just covered, so this looks to be kind of a Lil Boo one. Crazy. All of these have now converted over to full-blown HHN. One last look out here at the lighting. I don't think this has changed in the past few weeks, and as we kind of pan over, we do see our Halloween Horror Nights medallion that we have seen now for a few times here. We have our posters. Let's get inside. Before we get completely started, I would like to ask if you guys are enjoying the HHN content or you want to see anything theme park related, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let's go ahead and get checked in. Nobody is here, by the way. Heading into our first scare zone, we can see our sinister and surreal touches with the drapery, like I was mentioning before, with the turquoise and the pink. We will have opening ceremonies. I actually did see they were testing this just a few days ago. Both of the sisters are up there, and they are walking across, talking, kind of a unique voice that they're using. So I don't know what kind of like auto-tune or whatever they have, but it actually looks pretty neat. So if you guys want to see opening ceremonies, make sure you guys are out front. And yeah, we have the same lighting, everything like that. Nothing else is happening inside of the scare zone as of yet. I don't know what all is happening. We'll see if anything pops up tomorrow, but I don't know if they're doing anything with it. You can see back there, we do have all of the house signs now. Another look right there, so you can see this is going to be the Monstros house right here for Monsters of Latin America. That is going to be your first house as you walk into the park. As we predicted, this will be a quiet place. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see them, so I'll just point them out as I walk by, unless the curtain is kind of open up. But as I'm looking, I don't think the camera's picking it up super well. But this is a quiet place, which I actually thought this was going to be Insidious, but it's actually a quiet place here, considering we have the Insidious booth right next door. But yeah, this is a quiet place. While we're over here, let's take a look at the menu, and you can see it's kind of tattered, a very unique design here. Very cool. I like that they actually have, so right here, the last key pop. You can kind of see what it looks like, but it's kind of like a different style, right? Same thing here. We have eggs in the further, and it seems to be some sort of sandwich of some sort. Yeah, so jalapeno brioche egg in the hole with, well, I don't even know what that is, and feta cheese. So I'll go ahead and show you guys top to bottom here. And again, do feel free to pause. The prices are on here too, so if you guys want to see anything, now is the time to do it. Also, I think I could just show you this and you could see the menu, but maybe you just want to see it from this video here. But again, first food booth up would be the Insidious food booth. We also have all of the switchbacks out here in front of A Quiet Place, so this has definitely gotten quite packed. So now we can see everything is definitely coming together here. Now coming over here to Jimmy Fallon, this is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I can see it there, so that is going to be right here, which is something we were kind of suspecting. We were wondering if it was going to be in Jimmy Fallon or if it was going to be over there in that corner, but it does look like Jimmy Fallon is Ghostbusters. Now over here on the left, as you are looking at the New York Library, this is the Insidious house right here. So left side is Insidious. Let's go check on this one over here. And this one is going to be Triplets of Terror. So Triplets of Terror and Insidious are back here next to the New York Library. Taking a look at the tribute store, it doesn't look like they've done anything really new out front here. We do have them all gated off now though, so that has kind of now been pushed back just a little bit. So we'll go ahead and see what happens here. We are doing the AP previews for this in like just 2 days. Like I said, nothing out front looks any different. I don't think they might have added like that pallet on the second floor down there. I don't think so though, I don't remember. But either way, it looks all pretty much to be the same. And I think this is our facade here, so I think we're good to go. Looking at Torture Fair, we do have this wheel that has now been installed. I don't think it's going to move at all because I don't think there was anything attached to it, but just kind of sells this little illusion a little bit more. We have the grate in place here still. Everything looks to be pretty much the exact same through here from what I am seeing. Over at the breaking wheel, nothing new there, just actually more tarp covering at this point. The Brazen Bull is all the same as well. It still looks like we're gonna be cooking something up there. And then on the other side, between the Ye Old Aim and Maim, that all seems to be exactly the same. So I don't think anything through here has anything new at this point. Inside of Sahara Traders, we have even more greenery that has really taken over inside of here. Every few days, they're adding more to make it look like it is really being overtaken. Look at this right here. This was fully exposed before. Now it is fully covered. I think if we actually come around the corner as well, you can see even more of all of this greenery and shrubs that are now just overtaking it. And let's see, overrun by weeds, we have seen kind of a lot of this here. Let's see, Super Ants threaten snack shop worldwide. And let's see what this one says. Museum staff talking there. Refrain from leaving half-open deliveries in this area. Okay, so yeah, we do have a little bit more here. I did show you guys the QR code before. I'll show it to you again just in case you want to see. I believe it is a filter of sorts. But yeah, this is still developing every single day, it seems like. And I kind of pointed this out earlier. I wasn't sure if they were or not, but I was like, I think there's like a lot of greenery coming out of this here on the end over next to the arcade. And there definitely is, to the point that now it's coming out of the actual container there. So I thought it was like the first day that I was like pointing this out, I was like, I think there's actually like some random stuff in here. There's kind of like some weird grass and whatnot. And now we see it is way overgrown here. So we can confirm that they were doing stuff to this one as well. Jeez. Over here by the Blood Eagle, we can actually see now there is some blood down there on the floor, but they definitely covered this up a little bit more. I wonder if you could kind of see too much into it, and I think it's going to look a little gruesome, so they really kind of covered it up here on the side so you can't see in, but we definitely can see the blood now. I do want to point out, just because we're seeing everything out in the actual scare zones doesn't mean that is the final product. There is still a chance that they start wheeling things out, bringing things out, and we could still see a lot more that develops inside of the scare zones during the actual event itself. But I just want to point that out. Just what you're seeing today doesn't necessarily mean it's the final product. It's probably just the final like daytime product, if you will. We'll get probably more that comes out during HHN. As you saw, I was walking here through the Quiet Place food booth, and you can see I really like how they've designed these menus. It's not just your standard menu. Every year I feel like they're doing something a little bit more. But there is your menu here. A corn chowder, baked beans, an eclair. This looks interesting. You have a light bulb that is raining blood. So that's gonna be quite a unique one. You can see right there, it's a souvenir light bulb though for $17.50. So if you want just a single serve, it's $13.50. So for an extra $4, you get the light bulb drink. We also do have signage right here overhanging the edge. This is for the hardware, tools, and cutlery. I think this is actually done up too as well. They put some tools and things in here. It looks very new compared to some of the other stuff. I feel like it's a little bit more old and rustic in the other ones. This one looks very new, but maybe that's what you're buying, is the new product, so that kind of makes sense. When we came over here before, just the last time we were here, the lights were off on this one, and the light was on this one, and no monster was out there. So it does look like there is no monster still. We now have lighting over the countertop here. Still waiting to see if that monster comes back. I assume it will. And I still want to see if it ultimately kind of walks through the windows. That is something I think that would be pretty sweet. Now, I don't think there's anything else. We do have this window again. So we have 3 windows that the monster could ultimately walk through. We'll see if they do something like that. I don't know if they will. But either way, everything else inside of the alley looks to be the same. But we did get those menus. It does seem like the hydrant is on again. I hadn't seen this in so long, and now this is 2 times that it's been on. You can also see the idol up there is lit up red in Boris Schuster's office up there. So that has been lit red now, I think, for a few days. We have a pretty good idea. This is going to be Major Sweets, but we'll go ahead and check the sign just to kind of confirm it. We do see over there that they have the kind of like smokestacks. We also saw from BioReconstruct that there are some images of like a big tent that pretty much runs the entire length from like those, like the stalks there all the way down. So I don't know if we're doing a lot of outside stuff or what, but there is a tent in between these buildings. And that is definitely Major Suites. Let's see if I could like kind of angle it. No, I don't think you guys can totally see it. It's kind of just a bad angle. But either way, yeah, this is Major Suites Candy Factory. Also way down there, you can see some of the signage is now getting blocked. There's nothing behind it yet, so we don't have the navigational signage up yet, but they have kind of covered things. I'll see if the other ones are up. That one's kind of more of like a triangle versus just one of the typical banners up and down, but that one doesn't have anything. We'll check the one that's over kind of near Battery Park, and I think there's another one over near like Simpsons. We're gonna take another lap here through Blumhouse, and it does look like at this point everything is the same as well, so I don't think we're expecting anything else to change here. Again, things could definitely be kind of carted out at some point, but I think this is pretty much the extent of what we are getting in here. Looks like all of the lighting seems to be pretty much the same up top from what I'm seeing. Looks like we have the same speakers, same projectors, same lighting. We still have the jelly beans over there for the candy, and that is it, yeah, the end of the scare zone. We'll check out the Wolfman photo op here. Looks to be the same. I think we may have added actually one additional shovel here. We do see the lighting inside of this little blocked off area that is gonna be shining up on the trees there. So that is, I guess, I think new. That might have been there, I just didn't kind of come this far forward. And then we also see that there is the foot pedal, which is why I'm wondering, how are we doing the photo op here? So my question is, are we getting a Wolfman here and then you'll stand out front? My guess is they don't want people to stand up on the stage because now you've got a step up thing. I was kind of wondering that before, like could you go all the way back? But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, there's no way Universal is gonna be like, hey, step up onto a stage and step off of the stage. It's just more liability for them. And I'm gonna guess we're gonna have some sort of sign that says, keep off the stage. But the foot pedal makes me think that we're gonna have maybe the Wolfman up here that does a little interaction, and then you could have kind of a cool photo op with them. Are you guys ready for this entire park to turn over to HHN in just a few days? Sometimes I like to just like come out here over the lagoon and just kind of like stare out over the other side. It's actually very relaxing, and then you get always kind of a cool reflection off the water there. Sometimes if you get a nice sunset, it works out well. We have a lot of clouds here. There's obviously storms, which I feel like we just talked about. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to check out our advice, kind of tips and tricks video, where we talk all about how to prepare and have the best time here at HHN. We also do encourage any of you that have tips, tricks, advice, or anything that you have, you know, experienced, I guess, over the past few years, to go ahead, check that video out, leave it in the comments, just to kind of help other people out that are attending Halloween Horror Nights. Now, while we're over here, let's take a look at Nightmare Fuel Nocturnal Circus here. I can hear them talking in the back, so I don't know if they're doing staging work or if it's rehearsal work. Tell me if you can hear this. I'll be quiet and maybe turn it up.
All the things that pop and popping, all the things that are exciting. Fuel girls look great, hair look great. I get so many compliments when I'm back over at 32.
Okay, so I can hear them. They're saying thank you. Everybody's looking so good. I get a lot of compliments. So whatever they're doing, it's kind of like a little prep hype up session back there. So I don't think that is set pieces. I think that is like talking to the Nightmare Fuel team and kind of everything that is going on back there. So pretty cool to be able to hear that. Like I said, it was kind of fun to just like hear them like, yeah, like, you know, you guys are doing great. So I think the show is going to be a hit. I think they are ready to go here in just a few days. Now this is a little interesting because we do not have any signage out here for the houses, so I can't kind of tell you what is over here. We do have the 2 TVs, so I don't know what is coming over here, but I do think there are going to be house entrances here. This is typically where we have them, but as of now, we don't have any signage. We are gonna come over here to the Fanta bar back here, and now we have an idea of what is happening, and it is all beverages. We see the Sinister Spritz. That's interesting, huh? Do we have Surreal? Not that I see at first glance. So I don't think we have anything for Surreal here, but we do have that Sinister Spritz. And you guys can take a look at what things are looking like there. You have your refillable cup at $17.50 and $13.50 for the singles. Was it $12.50 last year? Are we up $1? Was it $16.50 for the cup? I don't know, you guys will have to let me know. But either way, here is your cocktail menu, drink menu, everything over here. Looks like we're getting a few things back this year that we had from last year, but overall it does look pretty standard. And again, you can go ahead and scan that QR code if you guys want to do that instead. Now you may originally say this is the same booth, and it is for the most part, except I do see some differences over here. Take a look at that. We have the Eye of Otis over here instead of that Sinister drink. So I wonder if these Fanta booths are all going to have one kind of signature drink that you'd have to go to if you want them. Kind of cool. Also, this one does offer a mocktail. The other one did not offer a mocktail if you guys want to get that. So it does look like it's going to be gin, lemon juice, lychee syrup, prickly pear syrup, tonic, Sprites, topped with the lychee blueberry eye. So I guess you're just removing kind of the gin and what else in there? Maybe... is that it? Maybe the tonic? I don't know what the tonic would consist of, but it might just be the gin. But let's go ahead and take a look at this one here. So this is the Portofino Bridge, and we have a barbecue turkey wing. Interesting. Okay, we've got pumpkin guts, goblin pie, ghoul juice. All right, so got some interesting options here. One thing I wish they would do more of is have that mocktail though. There are people out there that, number one, either can't drink alcohol, maybe they're under the age, or also they just don't want to drink alcohol, don't have any interest in it. So giving more mocktail options, I think, is something I'd like to see a little bit more of. Just having a drink that you could easily take out the alcohol and still have the drink would be something nice, but obviously we have to kind of pick and choose. Either way, that is what you have here over on the bridge. But I like, again, how they're doing the menus. That is so cool. I feel like last year it was just kind of straightforward. I don't remember them having these kind of themed menus like this. That makes me super happy to see that we are continuously adding and kind of adapting year over year. If you ever wanted to know how big the floats are, by the way, you can see the giant Marshmallow Man float all the way out there because it is massive. So just so you know, they are quite large. One thing I want to point out though, while we're over here, is over there by the Fisherman's Cove again. Still no signage that is hanging from the like the four little banners there. It is still just kind of that, like, I don't know, vanilla white color. So we'll have to wait and see what they end up doing with it. And I don't know, at this point I just know it's a bar and that's about it. So this is interesting. I believe these people over here to the right are for the private RIP tours. And I just heard them talking about Slaughter Cinema. And I think they're talking about some of the story. I do also want to point out that these lights are different colors. I don't know if that's normal, but I see red and maybe blue or green. So my guess is this is going to be Slaughter Cinema. And it is Slaughter Cinema 2 right over here. So we do have the Slaughter Cinema house right here. Does make sense. They were talking about it. So there is your cue to Slaughter Cinema. I think we already have seen, actually, that the tent house back there is going to be it. We've seen, again, more photos from BioReconstruct where they have kind of the like projector screen thing with some cars out front. So we do know Slaughter Cinema Q now is right over here by Men in Black. There is also some Ghostbusters merch inside of the Men in Black shop. We'll go show you that really quick. And we do have some HHN merch out front. If you come back here to the back wall, you could see it is a full wall of HHN, or I guess Ghostbusters merch. I was gonna say HHN Ghostbusters, but it's not all Frozen Empire, doesn't look like. So it is just all Ghostbusters merch back here, but there is a full wall of it. And you do also have an entire section over here for Lil Boo. So if you guys wanna come get your Lil Boo merch, you can get over here at the Men in Black store. It is all over in here, including car coasters. I love that. Let's go see what house this is going to be. Can we get a view in there? I can't totally see. I gotta come to the other side. I think it's the Museum of Deadly Exhibits, if I can see that correctly. And it is. Okay, so this is the museum house. So right here, next to Simpsons Museum. So are we... I don't think you could really utilize their queue, so I think you're walking this direction, I think. That is definitely going to be an interesting one. I have never experienced that, so I don't know exactly how we're navigating, but again, we do have 2 additional sprung tents, I think, back there, if I'm not mistaken, so we've got to get back there somehow. This is interesting. I can see it says like birthday party or something. What is this? You're invited. Birthday party located at World Expo Bridge. Eats and treats. Say cheese cheeseburger. So that's a cheeseburger. You get the Slasher Siblings sweet sampler, bloody goodie bag. So is this maybe for the triplets of terror? I think so, right? Because I think their whole thing was like, it's a party and there's the 3 of them. You have all of the 3 daughters, kind of local brewery stuff, and then you've got a little flight. Okay, so yeah, I think this is Triplets of Terror. I think that's what this is going to be based on. So this is their house booth. Interesting. I feel like a lot of them were IPs, but this is going to be an original. So it's kind of cool. But there you go. If you guys want to see, prices and options, again, feel free to pause at any point. This cup is $15.25, and the actual is $12.25, so they're different. But if I'm not mistaken, it's the same 20-ounce souvenir cup. So I think it's just based on the alcohol that you're getting in there versus, if you get one of the mixed drinks, because the refills do differ too. So maybe that's what it is. It just adjusts with the actual single serve. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. So if you want to get a cheaper Blinky cup, you're probably better to go to one of the cheaper options if you don't think you're going to be using it too much and you just want it as the souvenir. Maybe come to one of the booths that it's going to be, $1 or $2 less. I am interested in seeing what is going on back here for the Cary drive-in, and I want to see if they are doing a popcorn-based snack over there. Because of the popcorn, we are clearly getting some sort of popcorn, but I want to see what they do with it. So on this side, we do have the Slaughter Cinema, and we do have drinks. So if you guys want to see, we have a Shirley Black there, and then we have some premium cocktails down here. Okay, so not any of the food items on this side. So let's head down to the other one. I see a hot dog of some sort. All right, so a Ropa Vieja walking taco, a summer camp dog. I wonder how that one's gonna be. So let's see. Nathan's hot dog topped with Tostitos, nachos, baked beans, pepper relish, and Doritos crumble. Way better option than that one from Dr. Oddfellow. That thing was interesting. Rocks from Hell. So I think this is what it is, yeah. So I think it's going to, oh wait, no, Cinema Popcorn, Flamin' Hot Cheetos flavored popcorn. I thought maybe that's what it's going to be. So crispy jalapeno and cheddar cheese stuffed with lumps of coal. Interesting. And then you have a vegan walking taco. So actually this looks like a pretty good booth. It's too bad it's kind of tucked away, but maybe that means that it's going to be fresh more often. I don't know. But yeah, definitely don't skimp on this booth. I feel like those are all good items. The walking taco last year was really good. I feel like the popcorn's probably going to be pretty decent. The, I don't know, these lumps of coal seem okay. And the hot dog actually seems way better than the one we had from last year. So, I don't know, I think this is gonna be a hit back here. It does seem like the navigational maps are not up yet though, so those are not covered quite as of yet. I am looking, and you can actually see the HHN map, the official one now. We have Swamp of the Undead, and then we have the house over there to the right, and it doesn't look like we're getting any house portals back here by ET or DreamWorks. So this area is basically going to be closed off, or I mean, it's probably still going to be open, but there are no houses back this direction. I guess I should point out that the houses that are over there by Men in Black to the left that only had the signs or the TVs but no signage, that is Goblin's Feast and the Universal Monsters house. So that is the entrance over there. I should have probably pointed that out when I was over that direction, but that is those two houses. You can see everything on the map at this point, but just so you know, those are the two houses over that direction. You have Goblin's Feast, Universal Monsters right there, and then as you kind of circle around by the bathrooms, that is where then you will see the Slaughter Cinema house. This is our last lap through Swamp of the Undead, still the best looking zone by far. And I say that in the sense that obviously we just have way more props in here. And I guess maybe my thought is they just have the parade and other things that kind of happen throughout the park. So maybe they just have the ability to decorate this a lot more. But I am still hoping that the other zones get a little bit more dressed up, because this one is, I feel like it feels like an entire scare zone even without the scare actors in it. So I feel like at night, even with the lighting and everything, I think it's going to come to life, where some of the other scare zones, I feel like since there's not as much, you need those scare actors to really bring it to life. I don't know, just my thought and kind of how I'm thinking about it. As far as anything new in here, it doesn't look like it. Again, I am seeing a few really small things like this little cage here. I see a broken wood chair portion there. It looks like they added a little bit more moss kind of stuff to the top of these here. As far as everything else goes, it looks pretty much the same. No big set pieces, but I mean, where else are you going to put them in here? I think they were they using a black scrim in here? No, I don't think so. I think it was green. But I know there was some issue. I think it kind of fell over in here. This one looks to be a little bit more almost like see-through or something, but the coloring does look almost off. I feel like you could see the cross beams right now, where I feel like the other one you couldn't. So I wonder if they attached a different type of kind of wrap here. Let's see the menu here. It looks beautiful. It looks like a little cutting board or a chopping block here. You have some meats over here. Looks like you have flies and maggots down there. It's kind of gross. But yeah, well-designed menu again. So we have the Heartbeat tostada. So it looks like that's gonna be a vegan version of a tostada. Spinal column. Ew, dude, that's so gross. I mean, just when you order stuff like that, right? It's oh man. Let's see. We have a pork option here, a tres leches, interesting. And then we have a drink down here, right there. Something interesting, there's no price on the, oh, okay, down there, okay. I was gonna say, I don't see the price there. Again, this is one of the 1750 ones, but the base price is also more expensive. Once again, no navigational signs are over here, either near Battery Park. Let's see if we have menus. I don't see anything on the big TVs. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we do see these steps now where we're going to assume we're gonna get some rotating scare actors out here of some sort, little meet and greets, but look at that. A nice little photo op. There you go. That is kind of the creature thing that we have been kind of following. So I wonder if it's meant to be like a manifestation of both sinister and surreal. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like we have enough of a story of it, I guess, but maybe that's the concept, because I do see, again, like the purplish and kind of teal differences here. And down the center, you can kind of see where it splits. So more teal on this side, more purple on this side. And then it's kind of a hodgepodge of both colors kind of twisted together. So I think it has something to do with those two. But let's go see about the menus. Oh, I think we actually have some new lights up here along the edge. They do have some lighting down there by the POS stations. And I'm assuming we're gonna get some alcohol up there. Let's swing around the other side to see the menu. Here is the menu, not quite as fun as some of the other ones, but you do see kind of that monster up there along the edge. I know we have a little bit of a glare, but you can kind of see it there. Ghoul juice, the Murderita, quick to die margarita, and then you have your premium cocktails again. So it looks to be pretty much like your typical bar that we see with a few specialty options here. I feel like we've seen the Ghoul juice at a few of them, and then you have both of the margarita options over there. One last walk through Hollywood, and I think everything looks to be the same here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything new at this point. We still have everything covered up. All of the same pieces that we saw before are all still here. Let's check out the Twilight Tavern food booth. We have eats and treats up there. So we have In the Fog fish and chips, Forbidden falafel, the Bride's cake. All right. Looks like some decent options over here. I do feel like overall the food items seem a little better this year. Definitely some unique options. I like the idea that we're bringing fish and chips to the table. Pretty cool. Oh, I have a spiced cider here. It's kind of cool too. Let's see, vodka spritz. So, okay, pretty much the same. Their specialty drink is that cider, and then we have some options over here. I guess it kind of gives you a little bit of almost like that England vibe, right? Let's see what we can see here. Ah, there's Surreal's drink. Let's see if we can get a better look over here. We're gonna zoom on in, and you can see right there. So we have Surreal soda, a creepy cola, Ghoul juice, a Dead Meridian, and then everything else the same. I think I'm reading that Surreal soda is a mocktail option, and the creepy cola is as well, and the Meridian. So actually 3 mocktail options over here. So I really do appreciate that. Now we'll take a look at the Twisted Taters. And I did see these just a few days ago, and they look like they really stacked them up a lot better. So I think they're gonna be a little bit more packed. You know, I feel like the past few years, sometimes they were a little chintzy. This year, they looked like they were really stacked up. So I hope that is what they're doing. It looks to be kind of the same flavors. You got a garlic parm, sour cream chive, and seasoned salt. Our last 2 food booth options are the Ghostbusters food booths. And let's go check them out. We did see them doing samples out here for a lot of this stuff. So I did see the mini Stay Puft S'more. And there it is. That looks so good. And by the way, it looks like that. Honestly, it actually looks a little better in my opinion on the actual s'more itself. So this is going to be awesome. You have a classic V concoction, the Icy Breath, Slimer's Korean corn dog, and the frozen Death Chill. I did see this. It looked interesting. The inside is kind of like blue, very blue by the way. So it is a mint cheesecake. That'll be kind of cool. I feel like this entire booth are things that I would want to try. Even the Slimer's Korean corn dog looks pretty good. Fritos, Cheetos, ghost pepper spice, sage derby cheese, and mozzarella. So I think all 3 of these food items are going to be like way early on for me. I'm going to definitely want to try them. And then if you come to the next booth, it's actually the same thing. It is just designed a little different. So whatever booth or side you're going to, you're going to get the same items, but they do have slightly different kind of designs to the actual like layout of the menu, but it is the same items overall. So what it does actually look like on this side, you can see the Slimer and then the drinks are possibly going to be picked up here. And then if you actually walk right around the corner here to this food booth, it looks like they are doing the Death Chill and the S'more over here. So that is kind of interesting that you might be picking up different items from different booths. That does happen quite often, but either way, I am so excited for this food booth. I feel like this is going to be so good. I love that they have very well themed items. I like that they're doing kind of this like blue mint cheesecake inside of that. We get the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I mean, come on. I feel like there's no way you can't love that. This thing is gonna sell like hotcakes, I guarantee it. Now that is gonna do it for us here at Universal Studios. Halloween Horror Nights is just around the corner. Again, we are releasing videos every single day. There's gonna be one video that is not HHN based just because that is kind of how the week is lining up. But either way, super fun stuff today. Super excited to see everything kind of come together. We got to see the house locations. We got to see the food booths. It's feeling pretty real. Again, tomorrow is team member previews, so my assumption is everything is pretty much ready to go at this point. I don't think there's gonna be too much else, except for the things that they ultimately kind of wheel out or kind of pull out during the actual event. So that would be kind of the last thing that we need to see. And we'll see that on opening night either way. Now, if you did have fun with me today, please go ahead, give this video a thumbs up. It does mean a ton. And again, if you want to see more content like this, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next one. Take care.